Yo, what's up? Dante here. I'm back with some more football news. Um, this is going to be a college football story. We're going to go back to my team, Notre Dame. So if you've been in the loop, you know Tyler Buchner has moved on from Notre Dame. He's going to Alabama. If you're wondering why he moved to Alabama, well, we just got the quarterback from Wake Forest. Um, who I'm blanking on names. I'm so bad with names. Um, who do we get? We got you want to say it in this? We got geez. I can't remember. I don't remember his name. What's his name? Bro, what's his name? Why am I so bad at these? Why am I so bad at names, man? Notre Dame transfer quarterback. Sam Hartman. There you go. I remember the name well before I even saw it. So I guess it was kind of obvious we bringing in Sam Hartman. He was going to be the starter. Um, and I guess, hey, this is, you know, would be what his third year in a row backing up somebody. So it makes sense to leave. I mean, but to go to Alabama though, like that's just that guy got a major upgrade. So let's go and read what this story is about. Former Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner headed to Alabama. Heralded transfer quarterback Tyler Buchner, who left for Notre Dame earlier this week, is headed to Alabama. He announced his decision on Twitter late Thursday morning. Buchner loomed as the best available quarterback in the NFL. I had the draft on my mind. In the NCAA transfer portal in this late spring football period, and his transfer is an attempt to address the glaring need for Alabama at quarterback. He's expected to have 3 seasons of eligibility remaining. That's insane. Buchner began last season as Notre Dame's starting quarterback before getting injured. Yeah, and then they had Drew Pine, and it was kind of rocky with Drew, but we got it corrected. He returned for the Gator Bowl, accounting for 5 touchdowns in Notre Dame's 45-38 win over South Carolina. Hey, if that was your last game at the school, that's a great way to go off. You know, and this is like his the I guess it's Twitter, Instagram. This is Twitter. Buckner flew to Alabama and visited the school Wednesday. He brought an obvious familiarity with offensive coordinator Tom Reese, who recruited him to Notre Dame. Reese is in his first season as Alabama's offensive coordinator, and he inherited an inexperienced quarterback room with the departure of Bryce Young, who just went overall number one last night. According to a source, Buckner came away from his meeting with Nick Saban impressed. Buckner had other visits lined up, as source said, but canceled them because Saban and Alabama put forth such a strong impression. That's, I mean, if you got Nick Saban looking for you, I don't. Where else would you? Where else? What other place would you go to? Clemson. Clemson might have worked. They just lost their quarterback. He went to the Pac-12. Um, yeah. Okay. So there's more to it. Saban had offered Buckner out at Helix High School in Southern California, where Buckner emerged as ESPN's number 41 overall recruit in the class of 2021. Buckner committed to Notre Dame in March 2019. Buckner's arrival comes in the wake of Alabama spring game where Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson struggled. After the game, Saban gave them middling endorsements and left the door open for a quarterback transfer. Okay. And then these are the stats for that. And then there was another, more on CBS Sports. So, and that just breaks it down. Let's see. Sometimes life brings opportunities that are beyond anything you can imagine. And that is what happened today. He wrote in a statement posted to Twitter. I have committed to play football at the University of Alabama, head coach Nick Saban. I noticed that this is the best decision of for my future, and I can't wait to get to Tuscaloosa and begin the next step of my football journey. He entered the 2022 season as starting quarterback, and then he threw for 378 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks before a shoulder injury in the week 2 loss to Marshall, and that pretty much knocked him out the rest of the season. And he came back for the Gator Bowl. Um, Monster game, 273, rushed for 61, counted for 5 touchdowns. He did throw 3 interceptions. Let's see. Irish coach Marcus Freeman hit the transfer market during the first window last winter and nabbed former Wake Forest starter Sam Hartman, one of the most sought after quarterbacks on the transfer market. Very true. I think like him, Shador, Sanders, I guess you could say DJ Unga. Is it Ungalalu? He's at Oregon State now, so there were a lot of big name quarterbacks that moved around. Grayson McCall, I think if I remember correctly, I did a story. He left Coastal and then came back. Which is okay. Hey, if you love it there, you love it there. Hey, can't stop you. Massive potential. Buchner's brief career at Notre Dame was nothing short of a roller coaster. He was inconsistent with the football during all 3 of his games last season, but showed his upside in the thrilling 45-38 win in the Gator Bowl. This is a big reason why he was a 4-star prospect and a number 91 overall player in the class of 2021. Let's see. And this is so I think it's all the same stuff. And then this one, I found this out, and it was why Alabama coach Nick Saban took in Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner. Let's see. I'm actually making myself smaller for this. There we go. Just a couple hours before he watched his former quarterback Bryce Young become just the second or number 1 overall pick in Alabama history, head coach Nick Saban explained why early in the day, former Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner became Young's potential successor. We wanted to give our quarterbacks in our program every opportunity to win the job in spring practice. We felt like we needed to add some competition in the room, and Tyler was certainly a guy that was going to be the starter last year at Notre Dame. Got injured, played a bowl game, played very well. This isn't Saban's first cool Notre Dame personnel this offseason. He stole offensive coordinator and notable Fighting Irish football alum Tommy Rees away from South Bend in February. Rees, the coach primarily responsible for recruiting Buchner to Notre Dame, gets the team back up with his pupil. And then more about Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. Let's see. And Rees and Saban see him as the guy who earned MVP honors in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. He could have a major junior season. He could have had an impressive junior season at Notre Dame had he not missed 10 games with a shoulder injury. We thought he would add a lot of competition, and we think he's got the right kind of character and attitude to be a positive influence on our team. Let's see. Buchner has a lot to live up to. Saban is used to high-level quarterback play, including Young. The last 3 Alabama starters have been first-round NFL draft choices. Tua Tagovailoa went number 5 to Miami. Mac Jones went number 15 to the New England Patriots. Before entertaining the idea of a first-round selection in his future, Buchner must first get settled in Tuscaloosa and get ready for a quarterback competition that will likely last into fall camp. And they opened up the season with Middle Tennessee and Texas. So, all in all, so you're asking, what do I think of this? I think he has to do what makes him happy. I remember he came in as a freshman. When he first came out in 2021. and he was pretty good. Um, that was that I think that was Brian Kelly the last season, and we were all right in 2021. He played very well. He was definitely the leader to be the starter, and he was the starter for 2022, and he got hurt, and you know Drew Pine, he did good. He did exceptional for the fact that he was the second string. But it seemed like even at the first couple games, Buchner still didn't seem truly comfortable as a starter. He was very up and down. Drew Pine was he was more of a I hate to call him this. He was more of a game manager. But that game manager got us what do we have? 8, 9 wins, I believe. Like we went on this big run. Like after that slow start, like I don't think we lost another game until USC, I believe. And even by then, we had like 7, 8 wins at that point. So we salvaged the season. Um, I just don't think he should be going to Alabama. I understand from the familiar from the familiarity aspect of it. He knows Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees knows him. They can cook up some schemes, cook up a great offense for him to run. He'll have plenty of talent. He'll always have a great defense. So basically, it'll just come down to he just don't mess it up and play with that exceptional talent that made you a 4 star when you came out. Um, I do think. Well, I guess he did stick around because there was we just had the second transfer portal period opened up. So I guess he was competing with Sam, and he knew he couldn't beat him. But then as I don't know, that really kind of puts it into perspective. If he couldn't beat out Sam Hartman, who is a great college quarterback, um, if he's struggling to beat that guy, nothing against him, but what I'm saying is, if he's struggling to get the start at Notre Dame, that must mean Alabama's quarterback room is bad this year. And like I said, you look in the past, Alabama has had some great college quarterbacks, but a lot of that is because they've had the best weapons and they've also had a great defense to back them up. So it kind of covers the flaws. Like you look at like AJ McCarron and even now Mac Jones and Tua. Out of all the quarterbacks Saban has had, Tua is probably the best quarterback he's had so far. I guess technically you could say Jalen Hurts, but he didn't stay. He wasn't there the whole time. So, he came out of Alabama. So I guess Jalen Hurts would be the most successful Alabama quarterback uh, in Saban's era. Which is really it's not saying much. AJ McCarron and Mac Jones are just kind of wishy washy. But I don't know. I, if if it's a good move for him, go ahead, go to it, man. Um, if it's going to help you, because at the end of the day, he doesn't have to look at the pro stuff for another 2 years at a minimum. Well, technically, since this is his third year, he's transferring, so I guess technically he would be. They say he has 3 more years of eligibility, so he gets that extra year. So technically, if he wanted to come out next year, he could because he's a junior now. If he wants to come out this year, but that all depends on how well he plays this year. Um, he will be playing tougher defense, much tougher defense than what Notre Dame has played. Um, every week gonna be a gauntlet. So if he can beat out them two dudes, who I think he'll beat out them two guys they got at quarterback right now. But it's going to be very challenging. You thought it was hard at Notre Dame. Wait till you get to the SEC. Now, I think part of why Nick took him in is because he looks at it as I got so much around me I can give him. I can give him great running backs, great offensive line. I can give him some great receivers. Like, he really does not have to work very hard to run this offense. As soon as he learns the playbook, gets that rapport with the offense, I mean, you can do. That's the thing. That's the thing about Nick Saban's offenses. You can essentially plug anyone in as long as the guy can play quarterback at a decent level. You'll win championships because it's all predicated on that offensive line and defense. So, I mean, it's a great decision for Tyler, but in my opinion, it makes it look. It's a very. I'm not gonna say it's a weak move, but it's a very. It's a very safe. I can't even call it. I can't call it a safe. It's not really a safe. There's no such thing as a safe move. You're transferring schools. There's always some risk involved in that. But I think he went to the best situation for himself. Um, but I think he'll get exposed at least early on. He'll probably pick it up towards the end of the season. You would assume, but say like so he starts out with middle. Let's start with Middle Tennessee. Then they got Texas the next week. Texas is going to get better. Obviously, everyone's going to get better, but like usually noted, Alabama doesn't lose really early. They'll lose like in the middle of the season or near the very end. Rarely do they lose in that first 4 to 5 week span. But if he's out there and they lose that game against Texas, there's going to be some chatter down in Tuscaloosa. But yeah, all in all, he did what he had to do for himself. And I get it for his family. I don't know his situation, but hey, he's wearing that red, man. Roll Tide. He'll be missed. Um, now that I think about it, he could have. I mean, I get it. He wants to play because he's running out of time, but he has 3 more years of eligibility. If he really wanted to, he could have stuck around, had one more season to back up, and then play out the last 2 years at Notre Dame because I think Sam Hartman comes in. He's a senior, so at that point, he would really just be competing against like the new freshmen coming in, or if there is another transfer that comes in, that's all. He really would be the surefire start at that point. But then you go to the point where, yeah, he might get hurt again, which I guess that's what he's thinking about. He might get hurt again and miss another year. And I get it. Like college is, in my opinion, college is something you should, if you can get it done in 4 years, get it done in 4 years, man. There's no reason to stick around in college for that long. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Mr. Buchner. Hope he has a great. I will be watching him. See how well he does. The only time I'm going against that man really is when they play LSU because I still am behind Brian Kelly, even though he's gone. Hey man, we're in the college football playoff and a national title under that man. So shoot, he's the most successful Notre Dame coach in my lifetime. So I always have a special place for Brian Kelly, and plus I like LSU. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan, so I'm always down for LSU. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and peace.